Hello and welcome to that Peter Crouch podcast with me, Peter Crouch. Looking forward to today's episode, lads. But how have you been? Everyone been okay?
All good. Yeah, we're back. International break's over, so it's been all right, isn't it?
It's been a little bit tan cock, isn't it?
I don't know. I got into it a bit. Obviously, do you think everyone's excited or as excited as they should be, given how well England have done?
No, there's always some sort of negativity around us, isn't there? Like I do think we do it to top players as well. You know, there's so much talk about around Jude Bellingham, and can't we just celebrate what a fantastic young player we've got who's playing for Real Madrid?
It feels like that's the agenda, doesn't it? Like what we've done a broken record. We've won 10 consecutive games.
Without conceding a goal.
Without conceding a goal, but let's not celebrate that. Let's just focus on a few negatives and make a story, isn't it? That's what it is.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? I suppose it's going to happen all the way. It happens before every World Cup, and there's always some sort of drama beforehand, isn't there? I suppose, and then hopefully they get the team go and prove things wrong.
Well, anyway, I hope everyone can be positive and actually celebrate what's been a great run. Also, Republic of Ireland, their last minute got that result was extraordinary.
Those scenes were unbelievable, wasn't it?
Love to see
saw Troy Parrott's his interview afterwards.
I didn't
raw emotion.
Yeah,
like
whose interview?
Have I said his name wrong there?
No, Troy Parrott.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? No, I was just seeing his interview.
You
would just say it twice.
You fucker! I was scared I got his name wrong there.
I thought
you were about to say why you're a parrot. I used to do that at school all the time.
My boys do that to me.
All
it's
the
childish,
time.
isn't it? So childish.
Oh well.
And then I was watching the Scotland game as well on Saturday, and you know that was exciting in parts and lots of goals there. So actually, I think all in all, considering we write off the international weekend quite a bit, I would say
A lot of drama.
Large, very fun.
Yeah. A lot of drama, especially that Ireland game. Like that was incredible, wasn't it? It really was. And I just love seeing raw emotion on a football field.
You see, ever seen Robbie Keane singing? The Irish. He must be in an Irish pub somewhere. He's at the front, like with the band behind him, and he's singing.
I've seen that.
Have you seen
first
it?
hand? No, I've seen that first hand. Yeah, if the band's on, he loves getting up.
Yeah, and then he starts singing Troy Parrott's song as well.
Superb.
It must be just after the game. So yeah, class, brilliant, good. They'll have a party as well.
It made me actually think that I need to go back to Ireland and have a large one.
Well, you're only there having a large one about a month ago.
I know, that's what I mean. It just really reminded me of the time I had and how I need to go back there and do the same again.
Yeah, absolutely. One eye on the Ryder Cup. Are you sorted for that next year?
Well, yeah. We've got irons and fires.
Have you?
Would you like to come with us?
Well, you've got irons and fires.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's a damn manor.
Yeah.
I'd love to go.
Well, maybe we should go as a podcast.
That's what I'm heavily hinting.
Oh, right, okay. Well, let's look into it, shall we? But bear in mind, we've got more pressing matters. Valspar have been in touch.
Oh.
I like Valspar because it feels like it's almost like a football branded name, isn't it? Like, what was the one?
That lid doesn't look securely
No,
on,
it's
so
not.
just be careful.
I'm dicey with death here.
Yeah.
But they've given us 3 paints, and I believe they're going to put this in wherever you can get Valspar from. We're going to pick a colour today. I think the selected 3 are here. We'll pick a colour today. I'll just do it on the Chumba-1 bar. Bizarrely, we're going to have our own colour in the Valspar range. The tan cock will be live. You can buy it from your local B&Q.
You can actually. So we're going to pick a colour now. We're going to call it Tancock.
Yeah,
and this is going to get sold in shops.
Well, it's going to be a very specific blend. So you'll be able to go in, select Tancock on a QR code, basically, and then it will produce for you a lovely.
So this is where things have escalated from when we did a Zoom podcast, and Chris behind Chris's was a couple of colours, and we said, why can't we come up with a colour? And we have. Yeah. We've delivered.
Let's go.
So you get to choose what shade of Tancock it is.
Yeah,
well, you need to see these things on the wall first.
I'd like. Well, yeah, of course you do. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to just do it here on the Chumba-1 bar.
Oh God!
So the thing is with this, what we're about to do now is, I am drawing it on the Chumba-1 bar, but things do stay here, and that will now be here forevermore.
Oh yeah, good point.
What do we think of that first colour, lads?
I like it. It's a calming. Oh gosh. we've gone from one contrast to another here. So one of them is like a calming colour, and the other one looks like something.
Get all three up.
I don't mind that. Actually, I don't mind the middle one.
I think what it is what with this, you just need to. It's a feeling rather than. There's not much. I think you can be able to analyse here. It's to you. If I wanted to paint my walls Tancock, what feels Tancock out of these three colours here that you're looking at? It's a podcast, so they're going to be too hard to describe.
I mean, I think if you look at the one on the right, that's not the one for me.
That's a Punami.
I think we've got to rule that one out.
That's like when you have a little baby and it's nappy.
You're either going to see that
it's yellow
in a nappy. Or in your pants after an Indian.
I feel like we can rule that one out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is a difficult one for me because I feel like this one here, people that want to go for like quite a distinctive room, like I could see that being almost like an office or like something with big armchairs, like a Chesterfields, and
you're saying it's a bit of a statement colour.
I think it's a statement colour, whereas this is safe.
I like that.
But are we a safe podcast?
No.
Yeah,
beige. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Whereas this here for me is a statement Tancock piece.
I see what you mean. They represent almost different podcasts.
So it's between
overlap. Us.
It does feel like this is very beige.
Yeah.
This is
it's not exciting you. Is it?
For me, that's the one show after party.
Yeah. I mean, how have you even dreamt that up?
Wow. For me, this is one show after dark.
Okay.
But this feels more us.
Yeah, that is us.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's controversial because some people will hate it, but some people will like it, and I think that's true of our podcast.
So we're encouraging. If you like this podcast and you're looking around your room and thinking, God, is this room a bit beige? Actually, do we need to freshen things up a little bit?
It's a difficult one to decide. I think we should leave this to the viewers, to the listeners. What we'll do, we'll get it out on our socials, and this is very reminiscent of some of the work we've done over the years. You will literally be able to see drying paint on our socials. Some of the episodes in recent history have been very similar to this. So we'll put some drying paint on our socials, and please tell her the colour you prefer. And Valspar are incredibly going to put it out as Tancock.
Is that just going to get left on set?
That's going to get left there forever now.
That's going to be our story.
Yeah. Well, it's everything in this room has a story.
Yeah.
And now we've got 3 bits of paint that are going to get left there. Right, lads. The scores on the doors were I got 1 point, unfortunately. Chris, you got 3, which is disappointing for me. And Sid, you got the 1. So Chris has just kind of extended, away from me. He's challenging towards the top end now. I'm on 23 points, Chris on 26, and Sid, you are top of par on 27.
Still close.
Not ideal. Right, lads, I've got to say I'm excited for this one. And you know what a top fella he is like? He's obviously a legend. He's a busy man. But I just reached out and said, if you come on, he said, 100%. One of those, he was just bang up for it, which I like.
I think he's travelled down. He's travelled down from Stoke or Manchester or somewhere just to come do this, and he'll be flying back. So let's give him a good time.
Yeah,
let's enjoy him, but enjoy him by being disciplined.
Won't be a long time. It'll be a good time. Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, welcome to the podcast. One Dart Heart. One Dart.
Potent Pete.
Potent Pete. I remember that one. Oh my God, Joe Hart. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So just to fill you in, actually, I forgot I was called Potent Pete.
You were Potent Pete.
Yeah. Basically, World Cup 2010, South Africa.
Yeah.
Few of the lads, we ended up. There was a lot of downtime. We're in a compound in Rustenburg, so there wasn't much sightseeing really around there, but we were just in this compound. We didn't really leave it. We ended up playing a lot of darts, and One Dart Heart was we had nicknames each. I was Potent Pete. We had One Dart from Dartford, didn't we?
The One Dart from Dartford. Bullseye Barry.
Bullseye Barry, yeah. Gareth Barry.
Walkout songs? Was there
not really walkouts, no, but we just
really a thing then,
after dinner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Enjoyed that? You still playing darts?
No,
Not so much.
not really. I would do. I see the board there. I thought it was on.
No, it's the quadruple.
I do.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that?
It's just a specialist board.
Yeah.
He mentioned that there was a quadruple board out where he was like, "There's no chance."
Yeah, we had to get one. But how are you with your maths? You strike me as someone who's good at maths.
that would be quick maths. That I'm seeing Turkey a la shake if he's seeing it. You're laughing though.
Maybe all over it. Yeah. Well, you never know.
He's not jumped on this podcast yet, which surprises me.
You should have swooped him up at the weekend.
Well, yeah, it'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? If he suddenly got involved in the podcast world, and surely we'd be the first to benefit
You'd
from
imagine
that.
so, football heritage.
Yeah.
But Joe, you listen to us, right? You were saying just off air on the way up to Glasgow.
Yeah, that's a long trip. So when I played for Celtic, when I moved up to Glasgow, family wise, they were the wrong age to take the children up there. They were set, so I committed to going up and down, which was fine. I lived up there when I was there. But yeah, podcasts like you boys, you kept me chuckling. I think I was there when you were just on the edge, and then you became a mainstay. That was my zone.
Love it.
Yeah,
how good's that?
Love to hear
rightly
it.
so as well, mate. You were on fire. It felt right.
I always put it back to that episode with Idris Elba, and you rapped in that episode.
Yeah, that was my first
That was
episode.
right.
That
Yeah, you were
was
pushing the notorious SID.
The notorious SID, yeah.
He got straight.
well, the rap battle. They
Straight
wanted me
in the first team then.
That was straight in, wasn't it? They were this lunatic behind the camera there. He wanted me to have a rap battle with Idris Elba.
Yeah, he
I was
did.
like,
He backed out straight away.
yeah, I was
didn't
like,
he?
no chance. that's his bread and butter. I'm like, no chance. I'll do a rap, but I won't do a battle. But anyway,
Right, Joe, I want to give you a little initiation into some quickfire questions, if that's all right. Right, a couple of quickfires. Best striker you've ever faced?
Best striker I've ever faced.
You must have faced some in training.
Yeah. I can't really think of any. I'm not really. No, I'm joking. Obviously, no. I'd go striker. Is Messi a striker?
Yeah, we'll
Messi
give you
then.
that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was that. What's that like? Like, he's over a free kick.
Yeah. Do you know what it was? The only thing that I've said it before. The only thing that I've noticed that he caused a stir wise was pre-game, like the analysis, because it was when he was at Barca, and they were obviously incredible. So you had so many things to worry about, but then he just dominated every conversation. I remember Pellegrini never really spoke about much pre-game. It was all about what we did. I think someone might have been on here that said. Was it Ox talking about Arsene Wenger talking about the quality?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
So that was about what they did. And he was very much like that. But then we just went into 25 minutes of just seeing how good he was and didn't really come up with a solution. So it was almost like a fan zone before the game. and then he played out, mate. It's hard with a player like him because he's not being dynamic. He's not very much like give me the ball. He's not in the centre of the field dictating things. He's just kind of wandering around and then exploding into character like he does and dealing with people. So yeah.
And then tricky, I guess, from your point of view, I sometimes think this with goalkeepers, that it's not like you can follow him around the pitch to get his shirt at the end.
No.
I always think goalkeepers
You're very much in the goalkeeper. Oh, the one thing I did notice about travelling up and down, it's very much a goalkeeping bashing territory I'm in here. So, I'm ready to scrap, by the way. I'm ready to defend.
Yeah, we have given
it's a bashing territory.
We have given them some stick over the years.
GK Union sticking up for there.
Yeah.
Not even the union.
It's
Fuck
very
the union,
much,
mate. I'm sticking up for myself.
It's very much a goalkeeping bashing situation until they're on the podcast, and then we very much revert back to shitting ourselves. Okay, favourite stadium you've played in?
Obviously, I'll rule out anyone that are my own.
Yeah.
It's tough when you do it like
away
that.
stadium that you've been to.
The Bernabeu.
Yeah.
Love that place.
I like it there.
Yeah, proper arena.
Here's an arena. Okay, Pep or Postecoglou?
What, for me personally?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a Postecoglou, quite simply.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, we can get into that a little bit after. Best England teammate?
That's a good one.
Do you know what? I went through everything with James Milner. He was went right from 21s all the way through, so it'll be a James Milner.
Yeah, I know these are quick fire, but it's nice to elaborate on some of them. Like James Milner, like what an incredible career he's had, like, and sum him up as a person, because he's a lot, maybe, people think maybe he's a bit dry, but he's a funny lad, isn't he? He's a good person to be around.
Do you know what he is? He's just straight. He's to the point. He's very aggressive. I love arguing with him. He'll hear people out. He's a brilliant player. You're especially, you know, from your Villa days when he earned his move.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant footballer, very team-minded, but he won't stand for any shit, and that's what I loved about him.
Okay, would you say? I mean, the next question is most underrated player you've played with. Would you put him in that category?
I'm not. Because us three are sat around here. Respectfully, Chris, are sat around here who've had a great career, and we all think he's brilliant. So the man on the street might not respect him, but the people that matter,
That's true.
the people that matter don't. You mention his name in anyone that's been around James Milner, and they'll respect him. It's a tough one for me. Underrated, because I only kind of think like a player, and I think everyone who I know has been brilliant. Anyone who's played with them thinks they're brilliant. So I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't think Gareth Barry gets the respect maybe he deserves. Who do you think is the most appearances of all time?
Well, yeah,
But 17 to almost 40 in the Premier League.
But again, you mentioned it, like, I know if you speak to someone like a Yaya Toure or David Silva who played with him, and they'd be Steve Sidwell, played with him in the middle, they'll be like Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, Stevie tried to take him to Liverpool, didn't he, as well?
They'll say he's brilliant. So underrated doesn't really work in my head because I know the people that matter.
Is it like, rather than underrated, it's almost under-celebrated?
Yeah,
you know,
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
that's good.
We almost need an alternative two swords.
Yeah, I get my back up because it's bad with the underrated shout, because I know the people that matter, that they rate them. Geez, he got took to Man City. He played for England how many times? He played for Aston Villa. He played for Everton. That's someone who's rated in Premier League.
Yeah.
Maybe this is our new Sistine Chapel. We have our own two swords, right? But it's just with the players that we feel should have. I mean, I don't know how we go about making wax models of James Milner and that, but
It can be done.
I'm sure we could look into it.
Sure, it can be done. This is an interesting question for me. Like, gloves or boots? Like what? Because I remember you guys like washing your gloves in the shower. I remember you washing boots in the shower.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
And
well, that's because we're pampered princesses, aren't we? So boot-wise was always pretty much taken care of.
Yeah. So no one washes your boots.
Glove-wise, I wouldn't trust the kit. Well, none of the kit men that I work with to do it how I'd want to do it. You know, when you just want to take control of a situation.
Yeah.
They were my things. They were things. Gloves all day.
Yeah.
Gloves all day.
So sort of linked to that, Sid's asked an interesting question of Mick McCarthy a couple of podcasts ago, and it was, at what exact point do you think the game was gone, or the game has gone?
Yeah.
And
It's an interesting question, actually.
I do wonder, is there something with goalkeepers perhaps? For me, it feels like the game changed a lot when goalkeepers stopped wearing jogging bottoms.
Gabble Karai.
Yeah.
Is there a serious lack of Sondiko bags in the goals?
I had to say it was with a Sondiko. Yeah, there is.
There is, isn't there?
That was a thing growing up. That was
caps. What's the matter? Why can't you wear a cap anymore?
I rocked the cap.
Yeah,
never too cool for school, mate. If the sun was shining, the cap was on. That was my old man. He was on it. He was like, and I just felt like it's quite a responsible position, right, as a goalkeeper. So you've just got to kind of put to the side what people think.
You're right. Why the sun's still the same? Isn't it?
Exactly right.
Why is the modern goalkeeper not?
I think you would see it more, but in the stadiums now, they're that big. But if you played away, you know, I'd imagine at a Brentford or something like now, or Craven Cottage, for example, you're gonna get that gleam. That's my check. Embarrassing. I sound like a geek here. 12:30 kickoff. I'll be straight in with the analyst boys. What are we saying?
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate.
Just getting me some tickets for something.
Who was it? Did I see Stuart Broad there? Was that right?
No. It's my
Tickets
it's
out.
my brother-in-law.
The tickets.
No, but that'd be one of my first checks. What's the sunlight? What time of year? 'Cause obviously with the autumn and the spring and stuff like that. Very,
I think it was
very geeky. But
Henderson. Who I'm sure I saw him.
Yeah, he rocked it.
Henderson with the cap
He
on.
so he went on loan to Shrewsbury Town, and their new stadium had a because I played against him in the cup, had a proper low, so he would have been pulling that out weekly.
Are outfield players not allowed to wear a hat? Just for clarity, is there a rule that says you're not allowed?
But wouldn't that be incredible? Like, why are goalkeepers so different? Like, if I went into a game, or you watched, I don't know, Virgil van Dijk just had a little cap on.
That was true, because you're still classed as a player. So why is a keeper allowed?
We were second class citizens, man, on that pitch, and we know it. So there's got to be some.
But that's such a great point. Like, if someone did want to wear, imagine someone like with that much ability, just Neymar just had a cap backwards, skills and people.
And then what's the limit? I mean, you're already tall. Imagine you could get another couple of inches with a hat on.
Yeah, like a Russian hat or something. With a little bit of padding in it.
Well, I don't think you weren't allowed to wear beanie hats or warm hats. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's a technicality on it,
check
mate.
at the.
Oh yeah, he was rocking.
If they took snoods away, then there's no chance you could wear a hat.
No. It's all interesting discussions, isn't it? None like the podcast is having.
I actually don't think there's a rule. I don't think you'd be able to go to a technicality. It would just be what the ref felt that day.
Just a quick one. Sorry, the keepers still put towels. They carry a towel out now.
I did, and I would.
Yeah.
Does the keepers
Again,
Do we see it
that's
now?
a
Like, this is
goalie
what I'm
only.
saying. These are things that are slipping out of our game. It's like losing, like tigers and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like you got to keep it
Exactly like losing tigers. You said that there. Just
these
resonated with me.
things are slipping away, and without us knowing, or without us, because we don't.
It's
we're
our
not around-
climate change.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but has the game just gone, relatively speaking? Because when I was younger, when I was 19, the game had gone to the older generation then. Are we just not the older generation moaning now? Because you wouldn't speak to a 19-year-old, say, has the game gone? They'd be like, no, it's fucking love it.
Great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
true.
No,
So it's all relatively speaking.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And also, I always vowed that I'd never be one of those old players. But, is there... I mean, what did you have in that bag?
Drink. You had a drink. You had a spare set of gloves. You had a towel.
Why the
hat.
spare gloves though? Because that could just come from the bench, couldn't it? If you need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
but if you need them straight there, like if you got a hole in the glove or...
that's like when I pack for holiday, I pack a ridiculous amount of boxes.
Yeah,
as
same.
if I'm going to shit myself.
Yeah,
every day.
I'm saying, or they're going to get torn, or someone's going to
Yeah.
wedge you and rip them.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I think goalkeeping, it's a responsible position. You don't really want to... I don't know, but it's my mindset. I never really want to rely on anyone else. You're right. Stuff could happen and the game has to stop, but... I don't know. You just got to prepare for the worst. It's the position. You prepare for the worst.
Just having hand luggage as a player is mad. When
It is, man.
It's your safety-
Entering the fray with hand luggage.
But it's your safety blanket as well. I knew it was in the goal. That was my goal. You guys are wandering all over the pitch. That was my spot. And
Yeah.
if needs be, I can go in there and have a little rethink.
It's interesting that though, really interesting. All right, well, you mentioned Shrewsbury there, like where it was. That's where it all started for you, right?
Yeah.
But you were still a kid when you kind of went to City. What was it like at Shrewsbury?
It was quality for me. It's quite a small town, relatively speaking, in terms of cities and stuff like that. So I think the closest big teams were Wolves and Birmingham. So that felt like the other side of the world, but like we didn't feel part of that. So it was Shrewsbury town, trained, didn't really know much else about anything else. And I didn't realise that I was getting pushed. At 14, I was 14 or 15, I was on the bench. And that wasn't down to me being an unbelievable talent, but at that level at League Two, I think one of the goalies was on a driving ban or something like that. He was in trouble.
Really?
But those sorts of circumstances meant
These things can happen, no?
they thought I was the best young goalie, so I was on the bench, not because they thought I was brilliant. It was just I was next in line. So training with the first team from a really young age, I just presumed that was normal, but it wasn't. But it was brilliant for me, and I was playing by the time that I was just turned 17.
And do you reckon that kind of draws attention to bigger clubs? You being at 14, 15, around the first team. I mean, that straight away, that will flag up various scouts being like, hold on, there's a kid here. Let's have a look at him.
I think so. And I played for my county, so I played for Shropshire, and if you're at a good club at that age, you can't play for your county. You never did. It was like schoolboy football. So I presumed I was performing well in that. And there was always your local paper is like your Bible back then, isn't it? And I was kind of being linked with a lot of people, but I was always under the thought process that unless I see it and feel it, it's bollocks anyway. So I just carried on. But it turns out that speaking and being longer in my career, a lot of people were looking at me. Yeah.
And how does it come about at Man City?
I think Stuart Pearce was really keen. He was the manager at the time. I'd got it in my head that I felt like it was the right time for me to leave. I don't know how I'd got that in my head at 18, 19 years old. And my manager at the time flipped it on me real quick, told me that I was not dictating the terms. Because I was quite naive. I just presumed everyone was nice. And if I went in and said, look, I think I've had enough here. I think it's time we move on. They'd be like, oh, brilliant. I'll sort that for you. He was like, fuck that. You're out the team. Da, 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 da. So anyway, I thought, oh, God, I've ruined it. But I continued to play. And it turned out the club were looking to move stadiums at the time. So it all made financial sense. And City were willing to I think they put 600k down, which was massive for a League Two young goalkeeper. Tim Flowers was, he was really keen on it. And they let me make the move.
Wow. So, okay. So when you walk through the door at Man City, what kind of club? Because obviously we know how things progressed.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first arrived? Who were the main players in the team at that time? And were you training with the first team straight away?
Yeah, I was straight in, but the plan was, they were very. I think they had JMO at the time. They had Casper. They had Nicky Weaver, and they were like, "Look, we want to bring you in, and we want to use you as best we can, but we see it as an opportunity for you to be around first team, and then maybe we get you back to League One or Championship." I was like, whatever, I'm absolutely down for it if I can train in the Premier League. So it might not be the club that it is now in terms of globally, but to me it was. It was fucking everything. Like, I couldn't believe that I was doing it. Sylvain Distin and Richard Dunn were the two centre halves.
Was it straight into the City of Manchester Stadium at the time then, or was it
City
main
Manchester
road?
was there, but we were training at Carrington, the old training base, which again was I was used to a porter cabin and washing my own clothes and making my own food. So the fact that you got breakfast and lunch, couldn't believe it, And Kasper Schmeichel, credit to him, he's my age, and he was part of the Man City youth setup and progressed. And I don't know, there was always kind of a bad air around his name at the club, and I couldn't work out why. Anyway, he welcomed me. We were potentially, same age. I shouldn't have really been there, and he was brilliant.
Was he really? Yeah.
Oh, brilliant goalie as well. Like, obviously you see it now, but he's always been unbelievable. So maybe his name hindered him when he was younger, and he really had to prove himself, and he has done, credit to him. But me and him were just two maniacs training like kids on the side. JMO came, I think that's when he came to Portsmouth to you. He decided he wanted to leave. They brought Isaacson in, Swedish #1 at the time, who suffered with a few injuries, and I was straight on the bench in the Premier League. I couldn't believe it. Nicky Weaver was playing, and I was at Stamford Bridge actually, my first game, and I was on the bench, and it was, I think Drogba scored 2, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have that, like, you were like, it's just happened so quick? And
yeah, but it wasn't like a, what am I doing here, scared. It was like a laugh, like Mourinho's on this, well, it might have been, I don't know, there's fact checkers now, but I think Mourinho was in the dugout next to me. It was 2006. Drogba was playing, Lampard, Terry, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. Like, I did not see this coming.
Is that a strange situation where, especially from a goalkeeping point of view, because you're there, but you probably know you're not going to be used in that situation, so you don't know how long you're going to have to wait for that first game, I imagine.
No, it's that's true, but I think when at that age, obviously I'd know that in hindsight, sat here now, I'd probably know that I probably didn't even need to get changed. But at 19, the adrenaline and everything that was running through my body, I was still kicking and saving every ball, even though I wasn't on. Every situation, scenario I was running through, what would I do there? How would I do that differently? How's his car? Will I be coming on? Will they need to use me? Will they change their mind? That's how you, well, I don't know about you boys, but like I say, you can sit here now.
I've never thought of that. That's how you're sort of watching the game from the bench,
every
right?
single
you
moment.
really are kind of...
Every single moment, especially then, because it was, I had to be in the warm-up, I had to be on my toes. Balls are flying past me at a rate that I've never, felt before. It changed to the new Nike ball, all those sorts of changes, and bigger stadiums, everything. I was taking it in and just absolutely living it. So like you say, I think you'd look at it and think maybe a substitute keeper is chilling. And I imagine, to be honest, I was later on in my career. If I was on the bench at likes of Burnley, I watched it differently. I kind of had my eye on it, but at the same time I wasn't. But at that age, oh my God, you couldn't tell me anything. There's no way you could tell me to chill out. I worked. I will come off just as tired as I would have played, because I just was living it and wanted to do my best, and I realised that I needed to be at my best to even be there.
Were you the same?
Yeah, I was intense because I couldn't be. I was one of the players that didn't have I couldn't turn it on and off like a tap. So I felt as though I trained how I played how I had to train. Train how you play. Train how you play. And I felt as though if I just took my eye off the ball ever so slightly, then that would make an impact in how I perform. So I was quite intense, to be fair as well.
I see that at one point, obviously, point in your career, you want to be. Why am I not a little bit more blessed? Or you see, being at the levels where you see some incredibly talented people, right? But now I look at it like I'm not that talented. I'm good. I'm good enough to get in the door, but I could never lay off ever.
Yeah.
And I love that I couldn't lay off, because I knew that there were There's loads better players than me, loads better goalies than me out there, loads. And if I laid off, then someone would take my spot. So that's why I was just always on it.
But that drive as well, that goes through other players, doesn't it? And that dictates the level and it dictates the standard, and where you sometimes, like, the coach might come up to you, or certainly with me, he was like, listen, I need you to just get into it today. To raise the level. This was before training, because he knew that obviously where I was at and I had to be at it every day, probably the same as you. Like,
Exactly
they'd be like,
the same
listen,
as
you
me,
need to
mate.
just get everyone at it today.
But I feel like I watched that from you quite early on in, certainly with England, because it was a period where you weren't playing, right? It was, where you were consistently there, and then, but not being the number one. It must be hard for a goalkeeper, especially if you're maybe third choice, not even second choice. You're not going to play really.
Yeah.
But I remember looking at you and coming off, and you were like drenched, like mud all over you, and that was every day. I do remember that. So like, I can firsthand say that the mentality, the way he was training was definitely different to a lot of players that turned up with England.
Do you know what helped, mate? I just loved it. I just loved getting the opportunity that I was getting, and every opportunity I got, I just felt like it felt like every time a phone call was happening or a conversation was happening, I was getting a mega opportunity, and I just loved it. So I came in with Capello, where it was very much training it would be 11v11, a lot of it, which therefore means what, in a squad of 26 he'd take, I'd be one with 3 other lads, and you'd have the game, which would be being focused on, and then he didn't do it. In hindsight, obviously, it angered me at the time, and it angers everyone when you're in the 4 people. But it'd be like, you lot go over there and almost do your own shooting drill, and I just love it. I just have England quality players who are angry, because they were angry that they weren't in, so the levels were high. And I thought, let's fucking have it. I thought I couldn't even care. I couldn't care less what was going on in the 11v11. And that was how I always thought and how I always worked. I just saw it as a war that I loved, an enjoyable war.
It's amazing that kind of. So where does it happen at City? When's your first game? When do you become number one?
So I got a sneaky game. Weaves called me one morning. And said that I'm not going to be able to make it. He was brilliant with me, Nicky Weaver.
Was he?
Wicked, brilliant guy, old school pro, and he got a bit of a second life when I was there, and he did really well. And he rang me one morning. He said, "Look, you're going to need to play today. I'm all right, but I think it's right that I stay out the team. So just be ready." So I was like, "Shit, 19. I made my Premier League debut."
But that doesn't come from the manager then.
It was going to. I know it was going to, but that kind of goalie union that you talked about. He got to know me well enough. I think it was a couple of months in to just give me the heads up.
It's a good thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, really good thing to do.
Yeah.
And he also knows. He remembers being a kid. You can get on the phone to your mum and dad here, and you can make your debut in front of your friends and family.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, that was a lovely touch from him. So I played against Sheffield. We drew 0-0. Couldn't believe it. City in Manchester. It was not a memorable game, but I played in it and I remember
Clean
it.
sheet.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I came out and then I was on the bench and then Isaacson got fit and I went on a few loans that season because I said to Stuart Pearce, he said, "You're not going to be in the squad now, but I think it's right you go on loan." I was like, "Don't care, cool." Well, I think I went to Tranmere for a month. I went to Blackpool for a month back in the day when you could just dot around.
Yeah.
And then who came in? Sven came in then. And he had myself, Casper and Isaacson. Nicky Weaver went down to Charlton. And he very much was... You worked with Sven, didn't you?
Yeah.
You worked with Sven.
No.
Lovely man.
Great guy.
What an amazing person. And he was very much like, I rate all 3 of you. Show me what you've got and we'll work it out from there. And then it worked out that Casper had 7 games at the start of the season. Started really well. Then I'd been playing in the Carabao Cup, whatever it was then. Then he decided to give me 7 games. Then he gave Isaacson 7 games. Like, this is so very Sven thing to do. And then he said, "I'll have a discussion. I'll decide who plays the rest of the season from there." And then I played the rest of the season from there.
It's like that's such. I've never heard of that happening. Like,
No.
like equal amount of games.
Yeah.
And
At least he was true to his word. We'll have a look.
Yeah.
And we did.
Come dive with me.
Come dive with me.
But yeah, so then I got in, and then I think I snuck an England debut off the back of that. It was a Trinidad and Tobago away.
Well, played in that one.
late May, dropping like flies. I was like, just
mate, I was in the same boat.
snuck through the back door, mate.
Trinidad and Tobago, end of season.
Yeah, I'll do
They're
it.
not going, are they? Give me a cap in there.
They didn't fly out. Half time, I snuck on there. I made an England debut. I was like, what am I doing here?
I was feeling the same way. Little sneaky one.
Take it though, don't you?
No, I'll take it all day. I remember I did the same thing in America. We went to America with my England debut 2005. Loads of people didn't go. I actually, half of my England career, I remember the under 21 or the under 20 World Cup was in Nigeria, and at the time it was war torn. There was a civil war going on. Loads of people pulled out, and I went,
I'll do
get
it.
me on that plane.
I'll do it.
England shirt, not a problem.
Was that when Kieran Richardson scored 3 kicks?
Yeah, that was the America games.
that
Yeah.
sticks
Kieran
out in my
Richardson
head.
scored 2. There's a few of us that kind of sneaked in there.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? One cap wonder, that'll do me. And then that is kind of the mentality, really. And then obviously, thankfully, I stayed in. But
I just remember waiting for the referee to blow the whistle to start the second half. And I thought, fuck it, no matter what happens, I'm an England player.
there you go.
And you know that was that. So then I came back. Sven left. So we'd already had a Thaksin Shinawatra takeover, Thai takeover. That all fell to pieces. Then Sheikh Mansour came in at Manchester City. So that was the Abu Dhabi money, and we were all like, "Is this just another farce or whatever?" So Mark Hughes came in. And it was real, like, you know, it was when they signed Robinho.
I remember Robinho being the first one. That was the Robinho one was like, that was like, oh, hold on a minute.
Kaká was heavily linked. Buffon was heavily linked. And that was when I felt like my number could be up here. And I know Mark had a very good relationship with Brad Friedel as well at Blackburn. And he was trying to bring him in. Which at the time, like I say, I speak from 2 points of view. I think I was 22. I'm ready to fucking rip his throat out. What are you doing to me? How dare you do that to me? Very entitled. I look back now and I think, well, he had someone who played 20 games in the Prem, or he had potentially Buffon or Brad Friedel, who was just so consistent. But anyway, that didn't happen. So I managed to carry on playing. And then I think in January, they bought Shay. They bought Shay in. So I kind of had a few false starts. They bought Shay in, binned me. And then Shay played... rightfully so, brilliant goalie, brilliant guy. And then I went out on loan to Birmingham because I thought that's me. City had the money, so I signed a 5-year deal as a young English goalie, and then they got rid of me. So I'm kind of tied in on this big contract, but I want to play. So I went on loan to Birmingham. Had a good year at Birmingham. Hughes got sacked. Mancini came in. Him and Shay didn't get on. And I'm trying to like plot my move elsewhere, see what they want for me money-wise, because I want out of it, because they didn't want me. And then he said, would you just come and have a conversation, maybe start pre-season? So I was like, right, okay. Agent and everyone's telling me that's the right thing to do. If not, and they promised me a worst-case scenario. If it doesn't work out, we'll let you go. And then I played from there.
Right, we've got an amazing guest on today. So we're going to keep this nice and short. This next part of the podcast is supported by Paddy Power. Incredible game this. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Arsenal 4-11, strong favourites. Tottenham are 7-1. I don't think it's not an awful bet.
No.
It's a North London derby. 7-1, there's value in there.
Yeah.
You'd expect Arsenal to win. I think Tottenham have struggled in recent times. Obviously, before the international break, I was actually at the game, the Manchester United game, where they got it back and then they let it slip again. But I think actually away from home, Spurs have been much better than at home.
Yeah, their home form they struggled with, haven't they? But they are away to Arsenal, who, you know, they're going for the title this year, and they do look good.
Chris, have you put it out to the public?
I have, yeah. It's not long been up, so we'll have a quick look. 1 second.
Someone actually called me out for saying I've been going first quite a bit.
No, I don't think that's true.
No, I don't think it's true either. But you know, I think it's made me think I'm going to go third on this particular one.
Really? I reckon I know someone's going to go for 2-1.
Oh yeah, standard.
Well, it's a legitimate score. I don't understand that.
Oh, spiky. Didn't like that.
No, it's just you can't
Did
block
not like
me from
that.
going
I didn't
2-1
block you. I just said.
You're
Did
stirring
not.
a narrative that
I just said I think someone will go 2-1. I didn't look at anybody. It might have been Crouchy. You had a big weekend last weekend.
all right. Henry Gibbons, Graham Barry, The bald golfer. Should we have a look at the bald golfer?
Yeah, let's see what he's saying.
What does he look like?
Says 1 ball. Regards to the family. Regards to bonfire and Bahrain.
Bahrain.
When is the Crouch open? I'll await my invite +1.
I was thinking about that's bizarre. I was thinking about that on the way in today. We should have a golf day.
Oh, yeah.
Have we talked about this then? Because we must have, because the ball golfer seems keen. In the meantime, here's 9 points for you. He's gone Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1.
I do like that.
I had that in my head as well.
Did you? Oh, well, you might as well go for it then. Go first.
Oh, I'm stealing in first again. All right, 3-1.
Do you know what's tricky with people? Where it's tricky with the predictions with this is because it's a derby. Like obviously Tottenham fans can't say that Arsenal are going to win in this. Do you see what I mean? So you've got 2 big fan bases here.
Right.
It's hard to know. It's almost like I need to know what team they support when they do their
I
predictions.
know what you mean, yeah. And they will only be blinded by their team.
They're blinded by their hatred. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Tottenham 0.
3-0.
Well, there's a lot of shout about anti-Arsenal on this podcast as well. I'm all for them, so I'm going to go for Arsenal 2-0.
Okay, Arsenal 3-1. We do have Paddy's boost. We each pick a leg of the Crouch Pod bet builder. The odds on that bet builder are then boosted by 20%. They put on the Paddy Power specials section of the website and app. Player to score first, Saka.
Player to be carded. This is nailed on. Paulina
Nice.
For Spurs.
I'm going to go player to have 2+ shots on target, Eze.
Love him as a player,
Yeah.
I've got to say. Okay, the odds are correct at the time of recording. Please gamble responsibly. Moving into the lunchtime kickoff here. Saturday, this is Burnley versus Chelsea. Interesting game, this.
Are you doing this one? No.
I'm actually not. I don't know
nice.
why.
Weekend off for Crouchy.
Yeah,
Go on. Go
Fill
on.
your boots.
Love it.
Weekend.
Love it. This is a big game for Burnley. They need. I think they need to get back on track a little bit because there's others that are running away with that sort of bottom end of the table. Like they need to sort of get a confident performance and a win.
A little bit leaky, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sorry, is that so?
What's he laughing at?
There are a few goals going. I'm not wrong, am I? How many? 22.
No, he just enjoyed the word
they
leaky,
are.
I think.
Yeah. It is at home. I think which would give them a slight chance in this game. Depends what Chelsea turns up. I've watched Chelsea a couple of times this season and they look great in some games. They look a little bit average in others. Trying especially when they've had to break teams down, which I think Burnley will be that team. I still fancy Chelsea to win this. So I'm going to go with a slim victory of 1-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Anyone you want to shout out, Chris?
Basher McGrill.
Oh, Bash McGrill.
Drawn to his name.
What a
He's
great
gone
name.
big on the score. He's gone Chelsea away win 3-0. Which I don't know. Don't know if that's just a bit rich for me.
I can see that.
I might go with the Basher though. Yeah, go on. Why not? I'm going to go Chelsea 3-0.
Okay, I'm going to go Chelsea 2-0.
1-2-3-0.
Moving on to Wolves versus Palace.
Wolves, I think, are in a similar position to Burnley. They need to get things going.
Rob Edwards, he's been working with them through the international break.
Exactly, yeah. So they need to get their season going.
That's a point,
I fear
isn't
for
it?
them. Yeah.
New manager bounce though.
Is there going to be a new manager bounce? Bit of controversy, isn't there, with him going there with Wolves? But they are up against Palace, who look pretty steady this season.
Got a good
Pretty
record
good.
against Wolves, Palace as well. Yeah, I mean, listen, I am going to go first this time. I'm going to go for a Palace 2-1 win.
Yeah, I like that.
So you go missionary on that one.
You can't beat it sometimes.
I'm going to go Palace as well. Did you say 2-0?
2-1.
2-1. I'm going to say 2-0. I don't think
2-0 Palace.
Yeah, I don't see.
Well,
Wolves
look,
scoring.
I'm going to roll the dice a little bit then because someone's got to. Otherwise, it's all a bit samey.
Could be a draw there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Desmond. I think I'm going to go Wolves 2, Palace 2.
Right, okay. Well, enjoy the weekend, guys.
Come on, Wolves, do something here. Were you aware that Mancini and Shay were not getting on? Like, does that filter to you at the other club?
Not really. And not really. I don't think that it wasn't like a terrible relationship, but looking back now, there's absolutely no reason for that change for me to come back, because I wasn't that much better than Shay. So something had gone on, and they didn't feel comfortable with each other. And then I was knocking on the door. And Mancini, for whatever you want to think of him, was willing to make big decisions. And I'd had a really good season at Birmingham, and I'd got on well with Man City as a club. So they said, come back and we'll decide who we play at the start of the season. And then that was the start of that season. They decided, I had a worldie against you, actually. 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
And it was against Tottenham. And then Shay was on the bench. It was couldn't have been written any better for me. And then I didn't really look back from there until
is that awkward?
Till I got binned again.
Stirring this up. Is that awkward? Like Shay's on the bench at this point. Like, what's your mindset with it? And your relationship with Shay?
So I think it is potentially awkward, but Shay's such a brilliant person, and I'm not saying I can't claim to be a brilliant person, but I'm quite an understanding person. And when Shay came in, it was the same situation, and it was like he's not personally coming for me. He's just looking for his job and a great opportunity. And shit happens sometimes. So as long as you're respectful to each other, and he was brilliant with me, and he let the sore period go of us not necessarily talking like that, and then eventually, he couldn't help. I was 22 or 23, so he started to help me, little things that you can help when he realised that the frost had settled, and I loved him for that, and I do to this day. So when the shoe was on the other foot, if you like. It was nothing but respect. We communicated as much as we could. You've got to hold your cards a little bit, of course you have, but we didn't want to make it about us. It was about who the manager chose, and then if anyone had a problem or anyone was happy, it was with him, and it played out nicely like that.
At what point at City did you realise that it was going to be the real deal? Like, obviously, you said at the start that it's another takeover. Is he going to be one of them? Then Robinho signed, but still that doesn't really concrete anything, because anything can happen. Was it the new training ground? Was it your first your big contract? Was it a few signings? When was the moment where you just thought, do you know what, we can actually dominate?
I think the window that I went, so it wasn't a thought process of we could dominate. It was they could dominate. It was that was when. Did I go that window? But they were making mega signings. I think they signed Millie, Silva, Aguero, Yaya, Kolarov, maybe all in one window.
It's a decent window, no?
But I think that can cement something, couldn't it?
I didn't know enough about European football. I just liked playing the game. So when they brought David in, I was back by then. They brought David in. I was like, what's he going to do in the Premier League? I was like, left foot, slow, not really got a right foot, no real anything about him. Wow, what a player! What a brilliant man as well. You'd love that.
Yeah. I did hear.
And then Aguero, he fitted right in. And then obviously Aguero and the likes of Yaya. And then I just got the idea then, and people started playing differently against us, and the conversations were different about us. And when we beat United 6-1, that was quite a big statement early on in that first title winning season.
What was Yaya Toure especially? There was always one that obviously he's brilliant at Barcelona.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a holding. I thought he's a brilliant holding midfield player. Yeah. And then he came and just started roasting people.
Yeah.
Running through people and scoring 20-odd goals a season, free kicks, everything. What was he like? Was he that good straight away in training first day?
He showed you what he wanted to show you of him. He was very much. In fact, we had really, really, really high standards, and very few people would we allow anything slip. It was like a player group. You kind of had to just let him do his thing. He'd frustrate you sometimes because some days he didn't fancy it, but when he decided, and it wasn't on his day. It was when the day was required. He went out. He just took care of business. Phenomenal player. And probably we only saw a smidge of what he was capable of.
Really? Do you think he had more to give?
Way more. Yeah. Even I remember him scoring an Alan Shearer header at the back post one time. I went, where's that? He's like, I don't really like heading it. So he's capable, just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, in that era of the players there, I mean, who... Yaya, we mentioned there, David Silva. I'd love you just to talk us through in training, what they were like Aguero. They're the ones that spring to mind.
Do you know what it was like at that time? We had such a congested squad because we'd had the Thai takeover, Shinawatra. Then we had, it wasn't perfect straight away. There was a lot of people getting bought for a lot of money. Mancini was quite a volatile man, so people were falling out left, right, and centre. The bomb squad as it was big, and it was just chaos. It was organised chaos. Like every day you were on your toes. There was something like you couldn't wait to come to training. Was there a fight brewing? Would you see one of the best players in the world shine that day? Would you see an argument between a coach and a player, coach and another coach? It was to be 24, 25. Like I look at it now and it looks stressful, but then I fucking loved it, man. It was just everyone was at war with each other, but still pulling in the same direction. It was it was a good time to be alive.
I mean, how did the kind of English-Irish boys that were still there at the time? Like, I don't know if Richard Dunn was still there, but probably Joey Barton, Stephen Ireland, players that were still doing well, like they'd come through. I mean, how did that dynamic work with these kind of Galacticos, if you like, coming in, and the players who've come through and stalwarts in the English league?
It just shifted. That's the unfortunate thing about. When the money, I can't even remember. I remember Stephen Ireland under Mark Hughes was one of the best players.
Unbelievable, right? Yeah.
And then Roberto came in, and I think Stephen had some difficult injuries. And I know it's because they wanted Millie, so they just went. Yeah. They just made you can have Stephen Ireland as part of the deal.
Yeah, that's it.
Like no conversation, no. It's just. And it's tough, but like we're not on it. I can't do the whole unfair stuff because unfair things have happened to me. But shit, like football is brutal, and the higher up you go, the more you see it. So you could waste your time getting upset and frustrated about it, or you can just look around and think, well, you've probably got the same story as me. You will do.
But yours, I've just touched on obviously your period when Pep comes in. Because at the time you feel like you're flying, right? You're Manchester City's number one, you're England's number one.
Yeah.
The manager comes in and was like, I think everyone in football was like, whoa. Yeah. That was a big decision. Big call.
Yeah, big call. Fair play. He made it and stood by it. They've done all right since. So, but yeah, look, it was kind of brewing, and it was a weird situation in terms of I think he was announced in the February. Manuel still had a year left on his contract, which went without saying that he wasn't going to have that extra year. And, the conversations were brewing. He kind of transformed the game with Valdez and what he was doing with Neuer. Was I capable of it? I don't know, because I'd never been asked to play like that. And obviously pretty quickly, now I've got my hindsight head on, I think he's thought, he's a good goalie, no getting away. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. Have I got the time to teach him to do what I want him to do? Or I've also got the war chest to go and get someone who I know can do what I want to do. So is it like, do I have to focus all my attention on making Joe Hart a good goalkeeper? Or do I just stand up strong, make a statement, say, look, you're not going to work for me, and bring someone else in? Because he believes in what he's doing. He believes in the system, and he didn't have full trust that I could do it. I actually talked it through with him since. It wasn't, you're horrendous, get out of here. And I always heard that. I never really listened to the noise. I always heard that. It was never you're horrendous. It's just I haven't got the time to make you the goalie that I want to make. And I've got the budget to go and get someone else. So tough.
So you don't harbour any animosity about that. I mean, it must be hard because you're leaving a club that you love. It must be a hard situation to deal with, and it must be a difficult time for you personally.
Yeah, look. You flip between two. I don't know about your personalities, but I flip between two all the time. I've got someone who understands and has been in the game, but there's also the maniac in me. Like, of course I want to rip his head off. And he knows that, and we know that, and everyone knows that, and everyone at home knew that. Everyone knew that I was frustrated and I was hurt and I was angry. But, life goes on. Like I say, I look around and everyone would have a similar situation to what I've been in. And then as soon as I realised that it was done, I still, football doesn't stop there. My world doesn't end there. That's why I love Manchester City, and I will forever love them. They're my club. They took me from 19 to 29. I'm not going to let one bad situation, mar that. So
you did all right.
Yeah, we did all right. I had loads of fun out of it. Look, they've given me everything. I started my family there. Everything I could have ever asked for from a football club. And it didn't work out in the end, but that doesn't define my feelings towards them. It was just tough, again, being in the middle of a big contract and going out and being a 30-year-old loney is not the place you want to be. But it was what it was.
But let's talk about what was such an amazing time for you at City, and that transition, obviously winning one of the most iconic Premier League celebrations is when Aguero scores.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, I mean, the producer of that deserves a lot of credit as well. How he goes, look at Joe Hart, bang, and then goes to you running with that kind of like both arms in the air.
Yeah. And I've never in a world of conspiracies, you could even imagine that was all planned.
Unreal. Talk us through that day. I mean, I've got so many questions to ask you about that day, but you know, that particular moment, like that is an iconic celebration. The line from Aguero, the cut to you, the shirt off from Aguero, the scenes afterwards, you know, Phil Jones in somewhere else.
Commentary from Martin Tyler.
The commentary, everything. But you're iconic in that, and that will be forever more.
Well, see, Chris, to say that could be like, if the cameras weren't there, if that was just a Sunday league game, I wouldn't have. Like, I zoned out. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. If I didn't see it, I wouldn't have known that it happened, because there was such tension that day. Like, it was a horrendous day, awful. Like, to go from, we'd set it all up and been through what we'd been through that season in terms of we were flying, and then we fell to pieces, and United came strong, and then they fell to pieces, and then we kind of dealt with them a couple of weeks before and set up just to beat QPR, which we were more than capable of. That's not being disrespectful. We were more than capable of beating them that day. Like, we turn up, we win. And it just, how it transpired was horrendous. Like, just remember being stood, watching, waiting, thinking, we fucked this. We've absolutely fucked this when we've set it up to do something special. And, you know, the Manchester City tagline isn't typical City anymore. It's very much, you talk about Manchester City, you talk about it being awesome, taking care of business. But that line was there. We were kind of in that kind of mode, and I thought, oh no. And then for Edin to score late, and then the Aguero moment, and then just all hell just broke loose, mate.
But what does that look like from a goalkeeper's point of view? Like, you've got the best view in the house, really.
Yeah.
Right behind it, thinking...
I just saw QPR bodies, and they were down to 10 at the time. Yeah. But they've gone from... You know, their survival was on the line, actually. Their survival was on the line that day. But I actually do remember, because I was that redundant after they'd gone 2-1 up, that I could talk to people behind the goal who was keeping me updated with United score. Yeah. And they went...
So you were asking.
I've done that. Well, especially during title races, I've always had someone that I've picked out, or a ball boy, who would always keep me updated with the scores, always.
So you say someone like, could be a fan or someone literally?
Fan, it would be a home fan, or it would be like quite often ball boys, especially at Celtic. I'd have the boys that they knew that if I looked at them, they'd refresh the Rangers score, because usually we were in a rumble with them. So they'd be able to give me little signals or whatever. Love title races. And then they'd gone, I love watching title races.
Me too.
I think it was Bolton and Stoke might have drawn 2-2, which relegated Bolton. And someone's gone, and I saw it filter into the QPR bench, and they went from defending with their lives to you could just see them all. They didn't stop playing, but they were like, 5 minutes to go. We don't need this drama. And Edin scored, and even when Edin scored, they took the kick off and just kicked it, and no one went over the halfway line. They were just kind of camping in, but that kind of energy just dropped a little bit from them.
Do you think that's kind of percentage?
I think maybe, you know, like I say, there'll be no conspiracy again. They didn't throw it, but just there. You could just see them take a deep sigh of relief, because they didn't have to like die to stay up. And then obviously it unfolded, and the peace of mind and brilliance of Aguero to kind of jink round him, that was all set up for a penalty. Like Mario would have took that penalty in the 90, after everyone had argued and fought, in the 95th minute. He'd have wandered up, staring at Paddy Kenny in the eyes.
Oh, mate.
And rolled it in one of the corners, so it could have gone to another level.
Well, so again with like, it's sliding doors, isn't it? Like, that would have been an incredible moment as well, wouldn't it?
That would have been... I don't know if I'd have been able to handle that one. That would have been a tough one. He would.
Would he? Would he have relished that? Would he have either go, I'm going to stroll up to this and look him in the eyes and place it?
For all the enigma and for all the shite that surrounds his name, I'll credit him. He would have stepped up in that moment. And he would have rolled it. He would have rolled it.
The celebration would have been different, I reckon.
Yeah.
A bit of swagger.
Yeah, I think there would have been a serious swagger. But yeah,
it's a different thing, isn't it? I mean, what'd you do that night? You just won the league. I mean, it's in one of the most dramatic fashions of all time.
Do you know what? I remember going back to my family, and my dad kind of just he was trying to like get me to zone in, but I couldn't. I don't really remember it. And we were out drinking on the pitch, and I think we went to Manchester City Cathedral or Town Hall or something like that. Massive party in there. And then we had the open top tour bus, and it was just a massive party. It was just mega. It was just mega.
Yeah.
Mate. It was just blue everywhere, and we were just living like there was no tomorrow.
I ended up DJing the Man United end of season awards that season.
Wow,
it was a really rogue booking.
That season.
Would that have been had the season finished? Because sometimes
yeah, like because it was very close afterwards. Oh, as I remember it, a week, something like that. And it had the feeling of a wake.
Yeah.
It was so odd. Like when I turned up like later on in the evening, for one, it was a surreal thing for me anyway, just looking at who was on the tables and everything. But the way Alex Ferguson talked to the players, it was like almost a glimpse into what I imagine being in the dressing room was like.
Yeah.
And no one was answering back. No one was, it was so dour, the whole thing.
But the team's so used to winning and obviously doing it how it unfolded, I can only imagine. And that's why they did what they did the season after, coming back so strong. That was we were messing with some big dogs then.
I've got to touch on England, Joe, right? You talked about, right at the start, kind of thinking, I've arrived. This. You end up with 75 caps, is it?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's incredible for to have only one position available and you to hold it for that long. It's a real achievement.
Yeah. I again, tendency with me, I look at it two different ways. I'm ridiculously proud to represent my country, to represent my family, friends, school. You know the feeling. Like it's wild when you really think about it, especially that one position. And very proud. Enjoyed every opportunity I got, but I didn't do anything with it. Nothing. I think we had one quarter final that I played in. Didn't get out the group stages in the Brazil World Cup. Lost to Iceland in the Euros. Didn't do anything with it, mate. So I had an amazing time. Like I say, I'm very proud. Got to captain a couple of times as well, and I know I was an important player in something that means a lot to our country. But I just wish I had something to show for it.
Yeah, okay. There was a kind of transitional period, I felt, when Southgate came in, and I thought you were one of the probably leading voices in the dressing room around that time. What was it that he did that kind of felt like when you first got in, we were at a crossover, I would have been in the squad as well. It was quite fractious, wasn't it? It felt like it wasn't harmonious. It didn't feel like a team, really, although we had great players. Whereas Southgate, I felt, changed that. Is that true?
I think that's fair. He came in off the back of chaos. Sam Allardyce was our head coach for one game. That was a big decision for the FA. It was a big decision for us as a team. The one camp that we had with him, he spoke really well, and he was very, very strong. And it was start of the World Cup campaign, and then you know what it's like. Just all chaos unfolds, and newspaper and who's coming in. And Gareth obviously was the 21s and got promoted, so he was very much just kind of sitting in. So we didn't really impact it that much. We had a good group of lads who kind of governed it, and we were waiting for the next news, and it seemed like the right decision eventually for him to stay in charge. It wasn't revolutionary what was done. It was just very calm and very proud man. Put a lot of power, had a good number two who was very much his backbone in the setup. And we just started to edge our way towards qualification. It was no drastic moves. It was no big statements. It was no like, this is how we're going to address the country. It was just, I think he let people be how they wanted to be. And there was a good group of people in the England team, really good group of people who just were starting to find their way.
Who was it in the squad that who's the best players that you've played with in the England squad?
When I first came in, and there was obviously the Beckham factor, which I'd imagine everyone felt, and I couldn't believe that I was in a dressing room with him. I've told the lads about when I sat there once a couple of times and just watched him take free kicks. You would have been probably the goalkeeper that faced them, right, in training, and he'd just do 10 at the end of training. You must have faced that. Well, I was so lucky because I went in when So one of the things that really humbled me was, obviously I've gone in thinking he's David, like couldn't believe I was being around him. But I forget that he's around people who are around him, like Rio and Gary, and they just treat him like a mate, rude to him, disrespectful to him, but in a funny way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, right, okay. And then that was the same with the goalies at the time. I think the 2 goalies, whoever they were, they'd faced 300 David Beckham free kicks. They didn't care. I was like, I'll fucking do it. Take as many. So I always got to go in at the end. The whip, the fire, it was just everything that I wanted it to be. You make that save. Like I say, without that Aguero moment, I wouldn't remember it. But there was no cameras there. But trust me, I remembered every single moment. You've got, because you never know you're going to get it. You never know if you're going to get called back to England. I was 3rd choice at the time. I didn't know that I was going to establish.
So who was first choice at that point? Was it David James?
It was changing quite a lot. It was off the back of Scott.
No one could hold on to it, could they, really?
It was Scott Carson had the disappointing moment against Croatia, because it was his. He was top keeper and he was at Liverpool. But
Rob Green came in.
Greeny, it was. I'd
Ben
say
Foster.
I was
Green, Rob
David
Green
James
had that moment as
came
well,
back.
didn't he?
Yeah, Ben Foster, Kirkland was there with his back problems. Paul Robinson was still in and around. Wow. It was just a revolving door. But that's one thing that I could always offer from a career point of view. I never got injured ever, so I was always going to be in the reckoning. I never had a sustained period out, so that was one of my strengths again, with not being as maybe talented as people. I was robust, so I was always available. Even when I came in as a 3rd choice, that because the other 3rd choice had dropped out. I think a few times Chris Kirkland struggled with his back being away from home. They pulled the under-21 goalie up, so I managed to train with England and be with England. But then there's Lampard, Gerrard. It feels like you just say these flippantly, but they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, like facing that must improve you as a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing a shooting session, you've got like Wayne Rooney, Jermaine Defoe, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard,
Peter Crouch.
Yeah, me as well. It must improve you as a goalkeeper.
It does, and it really humbles you. Just when you think you'll get, I found it progressively in my career. No matter when I got to what I thought was a really good level, I'd unlock another one that I got to go to, and you'd be like, I don't know what. Did you have it as a striker? But I felt England shooting sessions, the intensity was unreal.
For me, it's the best I've ever seen, like of any club I've been at.
Because you can kind of just, if you're a top striker at a club, you can kind of have the day off, right? And sometimes a top striker wouldn't even do finishing, but in England they'd do it and they'd want to show how good they are. It was unreal.
I think it was almost like who's showing each other who's the best. Right? Give me the ball. Let me show you this.
Peacocking at its finest.
100%. I thought
you've
so.
Not got a striker. You've not got the striker of a club. You've got the best strikers.
Based on the midfielders are also top goal scorers in the league. Lampard and Gerrard. Scholes even, I was a little bit after Scholes, so I didn't see it, but the finishing was just ridiculous.
Even like at a club crossing, even the crossing, you'd usually have to get a young lad up, wouldn't you? Because the wingers are like, fuck off, I'm going in. Yeah. But at England, they wanted to show how good they were at crossing, so you had the best crossers, best finishers.
You'd have the best,
and it was like I say,
it must be like a fan. You must be like a fan in the goal. But if Bex is whipping one in, like this is how I'd imagine it. Right? If I'm in goal and I've seen David Beckham do it, like watching him live, and didn't play against him, but I've seen him obviously do it. Yeah. Then if I'm in goal and then he whips one in, if I'm getting the ball at the back of the net, I'm going to say, I'm under my breath, I'm going, oh my fucking God. Like that's ridiculous.
Madness.
And then all of a sudden he's done it again, or then Scholes, he just like rifled one there. You must be just saying it all the time.
But no, they wouldn't do it, mate, because I wanted it.
You're saving some, like you're making saves as well. But
I wanted it. I loved in shooting. I loved arguing. I loved fighting. I loved causing chaos with people. I loved taking the piss out of people.
But you want goalkeepers like that? Because quite often you'd have goalkeepers, I'm not doing it today. No. Whereas goalkeepers like you, David James was another one. Yeah. Like we'd do finish it and then they'd be like, come on, bring it on. Yeah. We'd have a bet against each other. Yeah. But I remember like Gary Neville saved David Beckham on the right hand side. Like I'd say it was Ashley Cole, maybe Stuart Downing or Joe Cole on the left hand side. They'd have almost like a bet who would score, which delivery would be better to score the most goals. So if you miss one or you were off it or the kick, it's like fucking like. So you, as a striker, you're getting like screamed at. You got to finish that. You know what I mean? I'll put it on the plate for you, and then you're like, it just breeds what a top level club should be at. Should play at.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Loved putting myself in situations, scenarios. working out how different people finish, because I'd have a different position for a certain, like for a striker or a Defoe or a Crouchy. I absolutely. Do
you know what's good about that, Joe, as well, is the players sometimes who, we've all been there, right? Someone who gets called up to the first squad and you're a little bit nervous and stuff like. It's a dog eat dog situation, right? Yeah. And you could see straight away, like a certain player might have got, not mentioning names, but a certain player might have got 15 goals in the first 20 games or something, get called up for England, doing really well, and and then straight away in a finishing session or always in that little box, you can tell a player within a couple of touches, right? And you can see everyone looking around. Yeah, he's not going to be here long.
You can feel it.
It's horrible.
Which is horrendous.
But
that's unfortunately
I absolutely adore
what it is.
For that. I loved it for that, and I loved. Yeah, looking back now, some of the things that I've said and shouted and screamed, I don't regret them because it was fun at the time. But like,
oh, you like the shout, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I do love a shout.
That reminds me of. I think Nobes has said a story. Was it about Deck? Yeah, you were training where sort of Deck's put one past you. He said, "Don't go for them ones, Harty," and then you've gone, "Listen, you do that again."
Yeah,
like. I'm going to come
Did you?
Did
you lose it?
You done it again.
I didn't lose it.
You said you did.
He's mint decking it. But he was just a dopey 18-year-old, and he's just like a Labrador, mate, just happy all the time. Did not know his talent, like he was phenomenal. Yeah. And he whipped one, and I think he's gone. I think he might have sunned me off, and I was about 100 years old at the time. I think Nobes had been encouraging, and I've just gone.
Is this at West Ham?
Yeah. Say that again. I swear to God, I'll hurt you. And obviously, because I got on well with him, and Deck's obviously gone. He's gone. I've overstepped the mark there. Like I didn't mean it like that. And Nobes, you know what Nobes is like. He's gone. You gonna let him? He went. Do it again. Do it again. I could see him say it. Do it again. I was thinking, fuck. If I let him score, that going to do it again. And he did it. And he said it. And
no.
Yeah. He went. Don't go after them, son. And then I've just fucked training off and just chased him for.
Did you?
You chased him. You chased him.
You've got to back up.
I'm chaining him.
You can't threaten someone and then not do it.
But the shout was you chased him for literally there was no end. He was just carrying on going.
You can't not back your word, right?
Yeah. Did he? I mean, he got an engine on him. To be fair.
Yeah, I don't know how I got. I think he just felt sorry for the older boy and thought I'll take a few digs and then we can get on.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
It was all. I adore Declan Rice. He's a. I was lucky enough to play with him at 18, and I just loved everything about him. Even that I loved about him because he's just mega and.
There is something about him as a lad and a player as well. Like,
don't care.
Just looks like he's enjoying himself.
He's completely his own person, and he's absolutely brilliant to go with it.
Yeah, he's a top player, isn't he? Great. Okay, so I mean, after City, you kind of bounced around a bit. I remember there was a loan at Torino, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was just a proper random part of my life. That to say from Sid's talked about, like so set, so established, to just being a 30-year-old loney, just trying to find somewhere to go. I was on a mega contract. Like I was in the middle of a mega contract, and City didn't want me, but they couldn't sell me because they wanted too much money for the England goalkeeper, of which people like now didn't want because I had a bit of a stain on my name. So I was just taking what I could get. I was lucky enough to go on loan to Torino, last thing in the window.
What's Italian football like? I mean,
it was good. It was. Do you know what? It was really pragmatic and organised, of which you'd expect, until someone scored. They had a great plan for 0-0, and then as soon as someone scored, all the shit hit the fan, and it went off. But I adored being out there. I lived in Turin. Enjoyed being a foreigner in a new
something
city.
Different. Yeah,
it was.
I think the main kind of resurgence I felt for you was Celtic. Like you had a good time up there, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I whenever I speak to people who have played for Rangers or Celtic, especially, I don't think you realise the size of the club until you go there.
No, you don't. And I was close with Fraser Forster, who had many good years there, and I knew Stan Petrovs of this world. I knew the boys who'd been up there, and I kind of when I was bouncing around and doing my loans and football wasn't really happening for me, I always thought it would be a great opportunity. That was something that really appealed to me. And when I did get the opportunity, because I was ready at 34, Nuno had come in at Spurs and made it very clear that he didn't even want me on his bench, and I was like, I don't really need football anymore. Like, it's not doing anything for me. It's only if anything, it's just making me frustrated and not a good person. And then, but then I got the opportunity to go there, and I thought there's nothing else that I really want from football. I could have easily walked away, but I thought I've got to go and do that.
Were you completely disillusioned at that time? Like, were you like, this is hard work now, training, not playing, or
I think
being
I
around,
was
bouncing around clubs?
When I went to Tottenham, I went there during COVID as an opportunity. I thought nothing really was coming, and I had an opportunity to go and work under Jose and support Hugo. There was no, I got it in my head. I am not going there to challenge him. I'm going there to support and try and help the club. Because there's no point in me going there thinking, oh, what if he gets injured? I was too old. I was too experienced. I thought, accept your role. There's a best case scenario, of course there is, that I play. I'm ready to play. But saw it as an opportunity, whatever. Hugo did well, didn't play. Nuno comes in, tells me that I'm not even fit to be on his bench. And I'm like, I didn't agree. I'm not stupid. I know football. I was more than capable of playing, let alone being on someone's bench.
That sort of blunt.
Yeah, it was that blunt. It was that blunt, but it was, and I just thought, I don't need this anymore. I've done everything I want to do. There's nothing probably out there I can do that's any better than what I know I can do. So there's no point in causing myself harm and just kind of hanging around like a bad smell. I felt like I was starting to do that, but then I got this amazing opportunity to go up there, and Ange was absolutely perfect for me in how he communicated what he wanted from a player. Like, it turns out he wanted someone to go up there with pure passion and be a leader and be a senior player and do everything he possibly could to win. Because Celtic had actually just, during that COVID period, they lost out on the title. They were going to win 10 in a row, and they didn't. So it was, and things had fallen apart a little bit, and they needed someone like me. I thought they did, and he did. And I got to go and be me and kind of really, really establish myself at an unbelievable club with my family, with my my young son watching who hadn't really seen me play. It was perfect.
We had Fraser Forster on, actually. He was talking about that night when he played against Barcelona, and Messi said that he was unbeatable.
Yeah, he was.
What would you say was the best night at Celtic Park that you had? The buzz. I mean, you look at. I unfortunately never got to play there.
Yeah,
but I would love to just experience that.
So obviously, I went through. It was just on the back of COVID, so it was like 60% stadium straight away, and then it was got up to 100 pretty quick. But away fans, they'd had this problem with away fans coming, especially with the Rangers game, and we started the season badly. We were a few points behind, but Ange was implementing his style, and we were struggling a little bit. Anyway, we really got going, and we managed to get to a really important point. COVID, I think you always play a derby 1st or 2nd of January. COVID there'd been a resurgence again, so they just took 2 weeks off. They said, take your winter break early. So the game got rescheduled for February, and it was a night game. So we got to play a derby of a night game, which is unheard of. And it would have meant that we'd made up the points that if we won, we'd overtake them in the league. And I've never felt anything like that in the stadium. We played 3-0. We were unbelievable.
Old Firm night game.
And the intensity on the line and that kind of energy and passion to go past them, it was something like I'd never felt in a stadium before in my life. Apart from, then we qualified for the Champions League, and we played Real Madrid in the opening game. And I've played Champions League, and the music goes, and there's a bit of a buzz. The music went, and I swear, at 36, seen everything, like I emotionally teared. I went, what the fuck is going on? They just scream. We got beat eventually, but it was unbelievable experience, and I just thought, I've felt something in football there.
Yeah,
we had Rod Stewart on the pod. Random.
He's brilliant though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, and like we went to his house, and his what do you call it? A gym or like a games room? Or
it's kind of the clubhouse for his pitch, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's like a gym, but he's got changing rooms because he's got a Sunday League team that he runs.
Yeah, it's just totally Celtic, and he's so passionate with it.
I've seen him up there. He's got that kind of diamond encrusted chain, the Celtic. Yeah. He's always there. He's a big character. They've got. I found that everywhere I've gone in the world since, and I've done a bit of globetrotting recently. Celtic are everywhere.
Yeah,
they are
absolutely,
absolutely everywhere. Just out of nowhere. Like, where was I recently? I don't know. I've been in like Malaysia, and you're just in the streets, and obviously it's a different atmosphere to what we used to in London. You just hear, "I eat big man." Where the fuck have you come from? Where have you come from? By the hoops and just walked on. Fair enough. I didn't see that coming.
It's tribal, isn't it? Like I remember walking through Glasgow Airport with Chris Sutton, and just every 2 minutes it was like no interest in me whatsoever.
Yeah. Hello.
I was like,
That's got to be a first.
Right around Glasgow Airport.
I've got a robot, you know.
I know exactly.
It's a fucking amazing. It really is. It's tribal, but you know. Also, like, I remember it's not just football. It's like music as well. Like I spoke to like Surgeon. He's like, if you play in Glasgow or in Scotland, the crowd's just different. I've been to Barrowlands to watch The View, believe it or not, and it's just a different experience to anything I've ever.
Oh mate, I saw Jerry Cinnamon in Glasgow.
Wow.
And it was
mega
bouncing.
Mate.
Oh, it was great.
Proper.
Yeah.
But are you enjoying what you're doing now, Joe? So when you finally, retired and, what was your plans? Did you ever think about going into coaching or?
No,
really?
No, it never even crossed my mind. I kept thinking it was the right thing to do because I kind of had an exit strategy, but it just never felt right for me. I never felt like I could do what I wanted to do in coaching because I feel like at some point you're always going to have to answer to someone. You're always going to have to screw someone over. You're always going to have to try and get the best out of what you want from a situation. And I thought I don't want to. And I'm not knocking coaches for doing that because you have to do it as a manager. You have to, I look at my situations that I've had, and at the end of the day, it wasn't a personal put down on me. It was just what they felt they needed to do, and it ended up hurting someone. It ended up changing someone's life. And I thought, fuck that. I don't want to be a part of that.
Bit of cricket.
Love a bit of cricket.
You were good
golf as well now.
You're good at cricket, right?
You could have been a
golf.
cricketer, right? This is.
I had a path. I don't know whether I could have done, but like at 16, I had a path that I could go down similar to the football. So I loved it, and I was decent. I had a talent.
Actually, I think we might have played cricket together. I remember Gareth Barry used to do it at his house.
Yeah.
And he had he loved his cricket as well. But James Milner's good as well.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm not particularly.
Team's ready, mate. Anywhere I've taught cricket, there's a team
squad
out there.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good squad of players there.
Yeah, it was good, man.
What
Good day
a
out.
combo this is. GB just had one at his house.
He did, yeah.
It was a mega house.
It was
I can
unbelievable.
imagine
It
it
was
was
mega.
cricket.
It was so good.
We went around for a barbecue. I remember. I think I had my little girl at the time, and she was on the. It was like a bouncy castle,
Yeah.
and then it was like, right, so we'll just want to move round to the pavilion. What? We went round and played a game of cricket.
All his boys, like, they'd cut the strip and everything. Like,
He had it rolled out.
Gaz is the godfather, isn't he?
Love
He's
it.
got people who do things for him.
Yeah.
And he's very understated, and I would never talk about him on camera because he's not the kind of person you talk about. But
True that.
he's an absolute G.
What a
And
legend.
Of
No.
What about
course.
become an
top guy.
umpire? I can see you have that sort of like.
Nah, not enough hostility in it.
There's not enough hostility.
I want to be playing. There's no way I could referee.
Do you like to go out and watch cricket? Like like now, like, would you go to the Ashes or something? Would you?
Oh, 100%.
Barmy Army?
I would love to be in the Barmy Army. I would
Do
absolutely
you
love
never
it.
do that for a day? You just go there and because you can bring in your own wine.
Mate,
and
I
things.
didn't understand it, right, for years and years and years. And then I went with a couple of friends who are very much involved in cricket, and I get it now.
Top
Yeah.
day in it.
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, my first match I ever went to was in South Africa. Is it Newfoundland's in Table Mountains in the background of South Africa?
We can like sit on the
Yeah.
bank around the outside.
Unbelievable, right?
and stuff
So I've strolled down and I get a couple of jars.
Yeah.
I was sat and I was like at the front row, Table Mountain there. The sun was out, a bit of game of cricket, and I was just sitting there having a bit going.
Life's good.
I
Yeah.
totally get this now.
Life's really good. With the weather and that. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. I'm
But how have you enjoyed the media stuff? You were on Match of the Day. I see you
Yeah.
doing various bits. What give us a day in match of the day?
Match of the day's a long day. I didn't realise that. You're there for the early. So say Saturday it's 12:30 kickoff. Luckily for me, it's in Salford. It's in Manchester. But you're in for 12:30. Watch the games. You've got like an analysis person with you discussing what you want to talk. So you'll watch with your fellow pundit the first game because it's the sole one on. Then you'll take 2 of the 6 they'll take 2, and then the analysis boys will have to take 2, and then you'll kind of work it out.
Little takeaway.
Yeah, there's always food rolling in.
Always.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Some job
man.
this, isn't it?
You got to be careful. You could get a right fatty watching.
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting there basically like doing what a lot of other people are doing as well. It's like big takeaway, but you got every single game on.
Yeah,
Right?
but then you're trying to put it together and work it out. And obviously, I'm kind of an all-in kind of guy. I think you probably could chill out a little bit, but I'm wanting to see things and work them out. And I didn't realize how I see football till I finished it, because I used to just see it how I played it and what I thought was right. But now I realize I've actually got a decent eye, because it's been my fucking life. Like, and I'll watch and...
Have they done away with the crisps now, or is
No, they're all
still,
there, but they're at the
on?
back. You have to get up and go and get them. They're not there, but if you've got 10 yards in you, you can fill your boots.
That's why you can get a fatty.
Yeah.
So you can. What? So you got a podcast as well, Joe? Right?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
What is it? Tell us about it.
Right. I always thought that I wanted to get into the game, and I know you boys are absolute founders of this game, and I would never try and come anywhere near your territory. But it's very much. I've always been, as much as I like to have fun, I'm a bit of a psycho, bit of a focused guy. Yeah. And the concept was put to me: mind over everything. What does that mean to you? I was like, I like that. So I don't want to just do football. So the podcast is mind over everything. The concept is I'll go and live a day in the life. So for example, I've gone up to Inverness with Luke Stoltman, one of the world's strongest men. Ate his breakfast, been in the North Sea with him, been lifting the big heavy Atlas stones. Earned his respect, if you like. Interviewed him. Had a mega interview. What an amazing person! Like,
Is he one of the brothers?
Yeah. So Tom's his younger brother.
That's
Tom's actually better than him. Autistic, but Luke very much protects him. He's like he's the spokesman of the brothers, because Tom doesn't feel as comfortable in front of the camera.
These guys are huge.
But when you say earn his respects, were you moving boulders?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I was in my Atlas stones, every 100 kg Atlas stones.
Could you get one of them up?
No comment. You have to wait and see.
When's it out, Joe? When's it out? It's coming out 1st of December.
But
you always see those fellas around Christmas time, don't you? Because
Yeah.
for me, World's Strongest Man is like a Christmas day.
Channel 5.
Yeah.
Jeff Capes was the original for me. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah.
Capes. You might be too young for Jeff Capes.
yeah.
but
I was Magnus Magnuson.
Oh, okay.
That was my guy. That was when I first come in.
Yeah, nice.
But basically trying to live and trying to get into his head and what makes him special. Because being an elite sportsman, I don't really sacrifice, and that doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm like, well, you have to do that. You have to be all in. I want to go one step further in terms of like his mind. Turns out we're all interesting people when you really delve. Like, all had problems and had to overcome things. And then we dot round to Dakota Ditcheva, who's a UFC fighter from Sale. She's got, I think it's Bulgarian heritage. That's where her name comes from. But her mum was a Thai kickboxing champion. She's in the PFL, which is the one before you go into the UFC. 27, really quiet, calm girl. Fucking absolute savage, mate. She's knocking people out, kneeing their teeth out. So lived a day in the life with her. Had a bit of a scrap with her. She's choked me out. Had a good. Had a good do with her in the gym.
Sounds like a good Saturday night.
This post-football stuff is...
Oh yeah, it's all gone a bit rogue, like. And then interviewed her, but I'm just finding I'm getting the interviews because I've kind of danced a little bit with them. They've given me a little bit more. Do you feel like you've probably earned their respect a little bit first, so.
and then the interview goes better?
But I also want to say, like, I'm a pretty capable athlete. I want to celebrate how amazing they are. So I'd say I can go low level on most things, which I think I've proven. But then it's when I was with a ex-Olympic gymnast, Niall Wilson, the other day. We were trying to get me to do a backflip. I was like going through the process, and I could just see him just getting a little bit frustrated. And he went, "Just all you got to do is do this." Just landed on his feet. He was like, "Do you see what I did there?" Just watch again. I'm like, mate, I get it, but like I can't just do that. But that's what I mean. I want to be in there, try and show how elite they are, and then try and get into what they're doing. So yeah, it's coming out soon. Really excited. Got an amazing production team behind me. I don't know where we're going with it, but just want to hopefully not just in football or sport, maybe branch into other things. But it's been fascinating.
It's interesting.
Sounds great.
Where's that going to be? And is it
So it's going to be YouTube because we've been filming a mini documentary of the day. So you'll be able to see of the day. Like, so for example, Luke, it's when we're in the North Sea at 6 a.m. up in Inverness. Then, you know, with the drones flying and them eating his breakfast, trying to eat what he does with the 10 eggs and the toast, and then in the gym. So they'll film a little mini documentary and then go into the podcast. So it'll be YouTube dominant, and then wherever you get your podcast from to listen. But we're very much starting on our own, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, brilliant. I think that's where I went wrong on this interview. Like, I didn't earn your respect in any way before I started.
No, you've more than earned my respect because of your podcast game, mate. Like I say, I respect. I'm in royalty right now.
Does that mean you choke him out now?
Yeah, I'll choke him out.
Mate,
I'll choke him out after. Yeah, Joe, really, really appreciate having you on, mate. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
It's an amazing career when we talk about it. Like, it's an incredible career you've had as well.
Yeah, it's mad to relive it because I don't know about you, but I don't really talk about me much. So it's funny when all these things start springing to head. But thank you for having me.
You're
doing a mega job.
Pleasure.
Nice. Brilliant. Enjoyed, mate. Thank you.